the uncle who works for Nintendo. You are 11 years old. What is your best friend's name? Ryan. Your best friend Ryan has invited you to a sleepover at his house this weekend. You've been friends since first grade, so asking your mom is basically only a formality. You've never confirmed this, but you suspect the babysitter may charge extra when there are two kids. You sometimes feel like staying somewhere else is the only way you can help out. I guess we stay somewhere else? So it's only a formality. Drawings. On Friday night, you're home for only a few hours. Long enough to pack. Get in a fight? Get in a fight with your younger sister. Pack some more and watch some TV. At 6 sharp, you're standing on the sidewalk outside Ryan's house, while your mom idles in a car nearby. She leans out of the window to you. You behave yourself, she says. As always. I'll be at work, but if anything happens, you call me. Ugh. Okay, Mom. I'll pick you up tomorrow at 3, she says, again as usual. But then she pauses, looking up at the sky, which has been overcast through the day. If you play outside, she adds, be careful. It's probably gonna rain. Let's kiss her goodbye. We kiss your mom, okay? After you part, your mom drives down the street, disappearing around the corner. You turn back to Ryan's house. The lights inside are glowing warmly. You can see Ryan waving at you from his bedroom on the second floor. Head inside. It is 6 p.m. Ryan's mom meets you just inside. Hello, she says. Dinner will be ready in just a few minutes, but you can drop stuff off in the den. You and Ryan are camping out there tonight. I think we're a little bit awkward at 10, or at 11, so let's just nod and go to the den. You drop your sleeping and overnight bags in the corner of the den, and then pause to take a look around. Behind the couch is a grandfather clock. It's ticking softly. Through a set of patio doors on the far side of the room, you can see the sky is just as grey as it was when your mom left. Framed pictures line the wall, and over the dark fireplace hangs a monstrous pair of antlers from a buck that Ryan's dad shot years ago. And of course, there's the big screen TV. Sometimes it makes you uncomfortable how much nicer Ryan's house is than yours. Anyway. You drop your sleeping and overnight bags in the corner of the den, and then pause to take a look around. Behind the couch, a grandfather clock is ticking softly through patios. Okay. So we go back to the previous screen. Ryan entered the room while you weren't paying attention and now stands in the doorway, smiling expectantly. Are you ready for dinner? He asks. Okay, let's have dinner. Dinner passes quickly. Tonight's meal is spaghetti and meatballs, one of Ryan's favorite meals. As his mother points out while piling a helping on your plate. Ryan's father cracks a beer, jovially interrogates you about how much trouble you and Ryan are getting into at school. Dessert is heaping bowls of ice cream drizzled in chocolate sauce. You can't even finish yours. Cracks a beer. Wait, it wasn't beer at all. That's a glass of lemonade. Why would you even think it was a beer? Ryan's father doesn't drink alcohol. You're quite certain of that fact. Now that you've remembered it. Well, whatever. The grandfather clock in the den chimes. You go along now, says Ryan's mom, smiling from her side of the table. We'll clean up in here. Let's go get the TV ready, says Ryan. The two of you leave the dining room and head upstairs. Ryan's room is immense. You stay in the den because the TV is larger there, but there's a sizable one here. flush with the wall opposite the full side bed. We'll take the 64 down first, says Ryan, heading towards his TV and opening the entertainment center cabinet. It's his prerogative, of course. He gets to choose what you play first, usually. But as Ryan begins unhooking the cords from the N64 from the TV, you catch sight of the other things he has in there. All the major stuff. An old SNES, a PlayStation, a Dreamcast. But some other things too. Things you don't really recognize. A large black box with green highlights. A smaller purple one. A strange white and yellow tower with what looks like gloves resting on hooks on either side. A compact white cone. What are those? Ryan looks to the clutter in the cabinet. Oh yeah, he says. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Can't show them to you though, they're still secret, I promised my uncle. Of course, you suddenly remember his uncle. The uncle who works for Nintendo. In the corner, the grandfather clock is ticking softly. Through a nearby set of patio doors, you can see it's getting quite dark. Framed pictures line the walls. Ryan is parked in front of the large TV, playing something on the Nintendo 64. Let's look at the pictures. You walk around the perimeter of the den, inspecting the pictures idly. Most of them are family portraits from years past. Ryan cradled lovingly between his mother and father, or any of the three of their own. A happy, tidy family. Oh, maybe his uncle is in there. You don't find any. Not one. The only pictures here are of Ryan and his parents. You don't know why that makes you feel uneasy. Time passes. Okay, so we check the pictures. Check the grandfather clock. Maybe we know what time it is. It is 7:30. Okay. So I guess we watch Ryan play. You try to relax by watching Ryan playing game. After a moment though, he looks over at you. You play this one, he says. This game is kind of spooky. Your character just has a flashlight and is running around in some underground tunnels. Occasionally, you hear what sounds like digging. You don't like it. Ryan is watching you and seems to be amused at how uncomfortable you are. You don't say anything, so you don't look weak. You play for a while, even though there doesn't seem to be an ending. The clock chimes. You're in the den. It is now 8 o'clock. Should we just talk to Ryan? What would you like to talk about? Let's talk about school. Ryan tells you that he heard a teacher you both had to grade before is in the hospital. You ask why, but he doesn't know. You spend time reminiscing about the prior year. An hour passes. Ryan's mother bustles into the room, holding a large ceramic bowl filled with popcorn under her arm. How are you kids doing? She asks. Good. His eyes not moving from the television. I hope you're having fun, says Ryan's mom. Here's some popcorn. Extra butter. She places it on the floor by Ryan. Almost immediately, Ryan is shoveling popcorn into his mouth. Meanwhile, his mother smiles first at him and then back at you. There's soda in the kitchen if you get thirsty, she says. And some pizza from the other night if you get hungry. We nod silently. She looks at Ryan. Your father's gone to bed. I'll be there soon myself. I want you two to keep it quiet, all right? Yes, Mom, Ryan says tiredly. Oh, and before I forget, she adds, your uncle called. He suddenly has some business here in town tomorrow, but he's driving in early. He'll be here around midnight. For the first time, Ryan stops playing his game, stops eating popcorn, and looks to look at his mother, and turns to look at his mother. Okay, he says. I want you to welcome him in. He'll be very tired and hungry, so offer him something to eat before he goes to bed. Okay, Mom. Good night, kids. And with that, she's gone. In the corner, the grandfather clock is ticking softly. It is 9 p.m. Should we go maybe get some soda? Play something in the Nintendo 64. There's a bowl of popcorn. Maybe we have some popcorn. You grab a handful of popcorn. It's buttery and delicious. Let's go to the kitchen. Passing through the empty dining room, you enter the kitchen, which is also deserted right now. Fridge. There are a few things here. Soda, cold pizza, milk, a water pitcher. Let's get some soda. You grab your snack and exit the kitchen. You head back to the den. Anything different? What time is it now? 9:30. Maybe we gotta pee. You head to the bathroom, down the hall from the den. There's a shower, a linen closet, and a toilet. Let's check the linen closet. It's a linen closet, filled with large fluffy towels and a washcloth. You're not sure why you looked in there. Are you finished? Toilet. You go to the bathroom and wash your hands. Are you done here? Shower. The shower is pristinely clean. Let's go back. We go back to the den. The clock chimes. It begins raining outside. It's 10 p.m. Let's ask about the uncle's visit. So, why is your uncle coming? Ryan shrugs. Business. What sort of business? Stuff for Nintendo, says Ryan. What does Nintendo do here? Ryan pauses the game and turns towards you, visibly agitated. How should I know? I don't work for them. Right now he's not quite yelling, but you think if you keep pressing the subject he might. I'm not sure I believe you about your uncle. Ryan takes a moment to respond, as if he's not quite sure he heard you correctly. What? I don't believe your uncle works for Nintendo. You think you've finally done it. Ryan stands up, fist clenched at his sides, mouth twisting horribly as he struggles to say something. You watch as he takes a step towards you and you clench your teeth and wait. Ryan darts forward and pushes you back onto the hardwood floor, cracking your skull against the carpet. You take a moment to be dazed. You lie there, expecting another punch or a kick, but to your surprise, nothing happens. Slowly you sit up to see Ryan standing there, arms still stiff at his side, breathing heavily. You realize he's close to crying. Are you okay? Ryan shakes his head, as if remembering something. Never mind, he says, just never mind. You want to say something more, but he's already re-immersed in the video game. You take a breather. Gotta think about it. No, let's check the time. It's still 10 p.m. Okay, let's talk to him more. Let's talk to him about games. You try to strike up a conversation, but Ryan doesn't seem to want to talk about games and ignores you. An hour passes. The clock chimes. Ryan is ignoring the Nintendo and is sitting on the floor, doing nothing. A little bit awkward. Okay, done that. It began with Mew. You didn't believe him at first, when Ryan came to school one day and told you he had finally caught Mew. Prove it, you said. So he pulled out his Game Boy and showed you. There it was. Mew. The 151st Pokemon. Available only to players at promotional events. Somehow unlocked on Ryan's game. It's really strong, he said. It KOs every enemy in one hit. Ryan demonstrated this claim at recess when you and some other friends linked Game Boys to do battle. You were the first one down. No one else got a single hit on Ryan's Mew. You asked how Ryan managed to get it. Oh, my uncle got a job at Nintendo, said Ryan. We were walking home together, past one of the construction crews. Ryan still lived next door to you at that time. There had been a storm not too long ago. Trees were down all over the town. Buildings had collapsed. You were standing at an intersection with Ryan as a truck rumbled by, loaded up with ragged tree trunks. What a bad storm. Wait, this couldn't have been too long. When did Ryan move? There was something nice about being neighbors. Oh. He also got me this new Game Boy, said Ryan, pulling it out of his pocket. You hadn't noticed it earlier, but yes, Ryan now had a sleek new Game Boy Color. Until today, he had one of those old ones, a big gray brick like yours. This one's a special edition, said Ryan. Isn't it cool? You agreed. You snap out of your reflections. Remember your own Mew. You got your own Mew eventually. Another friend had a Game Shark, which you borrowed one day. You spent that entire night unlocking every Pokemon you couldn't obtain in your copy of the game or hadn't traded for, including Mew. It didn't one-hit KO most enemies. It was incredibly weak, and you shamefully cheated the game further to make it strong enough. It even looked different from Ryan's. You asked him why. Your Mew was small, even cute, standing there with his round, cheerful eyes. But when Ryan's had wiped out everyone at school, it had looked completely different. Compact, snarling, fierce. You asked him why. What? He said. That had been here in the den. Oh, that thing. It had been a while since anyone talked about Pokemon. Well, my uncle got me a special edition Mew. First of all, he said, smirking a little, but not looking away from the PlayStation game he was playing. That's why mine looked different. Second of all, mine can one-hit KO because it's the real Mew. That had been here. Ryan had moved by then. But how long was that after the first storm? After he got Mew? You can't remember. The real Mew. You asked what he meant by that. Just what I said, Ryan replied. You cheated and got a fake Mew. So of course there'd be problems. Glitches and junk. You felt your cheeks redden. But not me, Ryan said again. I got the real Mew. Only me. My brother was so jealous. Ryan's brother. What about him? Why does remembering that comment makes you feel uneasy? You snap out of your reflections. The clock chimes. You're in the den. The grandfather clock chimes the hour as Ryan suddenly looks up from the 64. It's time, he says. Time for what? Someone knocks at the front door. That's him, says Ryan, standing up. I should go let him in. As he leaves the den, you realize you could follow, but a part of you really feels like being scarce for a bit. Let's be scarce for a bit. Where's there to go? In the bathroom. You run down the hall to the bathroom and lock the door behind you. Or at least, this could have been a bathroom. The walls are bare and white, and there is no sink or toilet. But there are some odd featureless white boxes that could stand in for a shower. Or a linen closet. Okay, let's jump into the linen closet. You crawl into the plain white box that is about the size of a linen closet and close it behind you. From the front of the house, you can hear the front door slam open. After you don't hear anything except bad expression, child. The rain. No, not just the rain. But a voice in the back of your head like, bad expression. I'm coming for you, child. Like something you can't even begin to describe. Though you lock the door behind you, you hear it open easily. Something walks in. Close your eyes. You're not sure how you know something is out there, because you don't exactly, oh child, hear it moving, but you know it's there, and you know it's stopped. Poor child. Right outside your hiding spot. It opens the door, even though you immediately realize it doesn't have any hands. Oh child, I'm so hungry, child. You cannot run, child. Hello, child. No more worries, child. Hello, child. Struggle, cease. Screaming, cease. I have friends for you. Friends for you. In the dark, you will play forever in the dark. Go, hello, child. Okay. The uncle who works for Nintendo. A Twine game by Michael Lutz. Original art by Kimberly Parker. Abstract backgrounds made by Iquisa by MCC. Script and CCS. Resources by Leonardo and Tori Hoke. We got one of the endings. Let's try for another ending. One quick question then. Was your friend's father drink a beer at dinner? I'm not sure what I saw. It is 7 p.m. Think about Ryan's uncle. He began with Mew. He pulled out his Game Boy and showed you. It KO'd every enemy in one hit. You asked how Ryan managed to get it. Oh. This one is a special edition. Isn't it cool? You agreed. You snap out of your reflections. Let's talk to him about games. You bring up the subject about new Pokemon games through some rumors you read on the internet. When you were supposed to be working on a computer lab at school, Ryan meticulously debunks or confirms everything you have to say, all based off, of course, what his uncle has told him. An hour passes. Kitchen. Fridge. Cold pizza. You grab your snack. Did we checked this before, but maybe let's check it again. Time passes. Popcorn. Say thank you. Around midnight. She's gone. Ask about Uncle's visit. Your uncle stays with you when he visits? Yeah, says Ryan nonchalantly. He lives pretty far away, and so he just drops by. Isn't that a little weird? Ryan gives you a look that you don't like very much. How would you know, he asks. You don't even have an uncle. Yeah, I guess so. You drop the conversation in silence. He does, frowning but not looking away from the TV screen. He's really important there. Then what does he have to do here? I don't know. Sorry, I was just curious. You dropped the conversation in silence. Do we have to, like, progress it so far that we get a confrontation? Watch play. You're feeling anxious and apparently you're showing it. Ryan looks at you and bites his lip. Watch this, he says. On screen, the game's main character is in a car on a crowded street in what looks like a virtual New York City. Ryan revs up and begins mowing down pedestrians, giggling. You don't think this is very funny, but to Ryan it's hilarious. After a while, he stops the car and waits. An ambulance appears. Once the paramedic exits, he beats him to death with a baseball bat. Isn't this great? This goes on for a while. The clock chimes. It begins raining outside. Maybe there's something new in the bathroom? I don't think so. Pristinely clean. You're not sure. Wash your hands. Back. Go to the kitchen again, maybe? Or call pizza? Okay. That made something change. Think about the Uncle Mew. Just checked this. Okay. You grit your teeth. My uncle will be here soon, says Ryan, looking at the clock. You knew that, of course. Ryan smiles at you. You want to play one more before he gets here? Sure. For a while, you half-heartedly wander around the map in GoldenEye, while Ryan repeatedly headshots you. The clock chimes. Grandfather clock chimes the hours. Ryan looks up from 64. It's time. Is your uncle here? That's him, says Ryan, standing up. I should go let him in. Okay, this time we're gonna follow him. The knocking continues persistently as you follow Ryan to the front of the house. Outside the pebbled claws of the front window, you can see a tall, dark shadow. Ryan goes to the door, undoes the deadbolt, and cracks it open. You can come in, he says to whoever stands out there on the porch, and looks over his shoulder at you. Sorry, he says. Before you can ask what's there, to be sorry about, the door slams open. Hello, child. Come closer, child. No more worries, child. I'm hungry, child. No more worries, child. Hello, child. Fear none. Screaming sea. Stop it, child. Hello, 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 child. Undefined error. The uncle works for Nintendo.